All right. Tonight we are having such an amazing conversation. I've been waiting for this one to come up ever since I had the opportunity to speak with Tom Whitmarsh. Tom, welcome to Powered by Authenticity.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining me here. And we should mention we're at Brewing
We
in Lancaster.
In Lancaster on Genesee Street.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've never been here. It's beautiful.
It is a fantastic location. Inside, outside, the patio in the summer, the pond out back, just a great spot. They're always packed here on the weekends. If you haven't been here, you got to check it out.
Yeah, it's great. We'll talk about the beer in a minute because that's one of the most important things here. But I would love for you to do a little intro. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, so born and raised in Buffalo. I grew up in Lancaster, Lancaster High School, and ended up meeting my wife. We've been married for just over 25, 26 years now, almost.
Yeah.
2 kids, 18 and 15. So
yay.
keep us on the run.
Yeah.
All sorts of things. Worked retail most of my life until I got into doing this, which is kind of an extension of retail anyway.
Yeah.
And then it blew up, and now it's my full-time gig.
That's so fun. And we're going to talk about Western New York Beer Trail, what it means here in the community. I'm really fascinated to hear how you started it, so we will get there. But first, we want to do a little bit of an icebreaker. Here at the podcast, we think that food is one of the great connectors that we have with people. So we're always talking about food. Where are you going for a local burger?
So I got to go with the traditional Grover's. It's in my neighborhood, so
Yeah.
Grover's is always a go-to. Of course, I've got to shout out Brazen here. Their food, their burgers, they do a burger night every week. Amazing. Food is always good here.
Okay.
So, yeah, Grover's or here would be my top 2 choices.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to check out the burgers because I love them. Producer Ken, where are you going?
So when I was in college, I found a place just down the road, the Griffin, and now it's my go-to anytime I'm nearby, the one in Niagara Falls or the one in Williamsville. It's one of my favorites, the wild game burger specifically.
Yeah, we used to have
Yeah.
a Griffin by us, and the options on the menu for different setups of the burger were peanut butter and jelly and maple, bacon, whatever. Yeah, there was a lot of interesting things on there.
A lot of different things to choose from.
Okay, all good choices. I'm going to give a shout out to Bourbon and Burger in Batavia. They're local, they're close, but I will probably be trying Brazen's burger very soon. Well, thank you for indulging us. Like I said, we love food. It's just such a great connector and way to bring people together. And talking about that, Western New York Beer Trail. Tell me about the company as a whole. Tell me about what you've grown here.
Yeah, so my wife and I got into enjoying craft beer probably around 2016 or so. The kids were old enough to be in school full time, and we were finally on the loose.
Yeah.
So we would go out on a weekday, and the breweries were popping up left and right at that point, and we would find a place for lunch, grab a bite to eat, and a couple of beers. And the best thing about doing it on a weekday was we got to meet owners and brewers and managers and people where they have time to talk about their craft.
Yeah.
So that was really great, meeting all these people, sampling things, 11, 12 o'clock in the morning when they're open for lunch is the perfect time. So that worked out great. And we ended up trying out a bunch of different places, and in 2019, we were having a conversation with a friend about just what was going on with the breweries in the area, and I said to myself, or I said out loud, if something like Finger Lakes Wine Trail could happen in Buffalo for the breweries, like a Buffalo Beer Trail, that would be really awesome. And as soon as I said that, it was kind of the aha moment right then.
Gotcha.
So I jumped on social media, looked around to see if anybody was doing anything. There was nothing really going on at the time, so I started getting the handle on all the social medias. Another friend suggested that I do Western New York Beer Trail as opposed to Buffalo. That way we could expand out towards the Rochester area, central New York.
Yep.
Which hopefully that's a thing down the road here. And it just started out as a hobby, taking pictures, kind of like a foodie, right? Just taking pictures of the beer, buying up everything local I could find, trying it, posting pictures, shouting everybody out. And then each idea just fell into place, like one domino into the next. There was never a business plan. It was just one
Highly
idea.
overrated, by the way.
One idea after the next. A college buddy who is in Texas now asked me if I knew about Pub Pass, which is something that exists out in the Midwest.
Okay.
So I started looking at that and what they do. Another friend went to Cleveland and they have a beer pass there. I think probably put on by their Chamber of Commerce. And I just started formulating the idea from there, and it was only supposed to be a fun side hobby, again, to get to know more people at the breweries and support and just have a little fun.
Yeah.
So our first yes came from Mike Schatzel from Thin Man.
Okay.
And my wife still laughs at me to this day. I was so excited that Thin Man Brewing said yes, they would participate in the pass. I had no background. Like I said, I was in retail. So nobody in brewing or restaurant or anything like that knew me from anything. So super thankful that they would say yes and partner up. We got about 30 locations the first year. And in early 2020 is when I gave the okay to print the first round of passes, and the next week the first COVID shutdown happened.
That's awesome.
So now I'm holding 500 passes.
Oh, wow.
And not knowing what to do because nobody's open at this point. And so we launched it anyway.
Yeah.
And people didn't know. People didn't know what was going on. So we launched and we donated $7.16, 716,
Yep.
Of each pass to Western New York Hospitality Relief at the time.
I love it.
We ended up donating $350 to them out of the gate during COVID, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And we muddled our way through the rest of 2020. So as we got ready for 21, as soon as I gave the okay in November of that year to print the next round of passes for the next year, the second COVID shutdown happened. Couldn't time it any better.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So again, 2021, we muddled our way through. And then finally, 22, as things started to loosen up again, that's when things really started to take off.
Yeah.
Things changed for what I was doing then. Like, what originally was supposed to be just a fun side hobby and getting to know the breweries turned into a marketing extension, a help to getting people back into the breweries as things opened up again. So took on a whole life of its own. People immediately jumped on the bandwagon. It was really, really fantastic going into 22, how much people really wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah. And explain the pass itself. So when somebody's purchasing that, what does that give them?
Yeah, the Trail Pass is a passport-sized book. For lack of a better term, it's like the entertainment book for beer.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So anybody who's familiar with the entertainment book, over 70 locations this year. We've grown quite a bit over the last 5-6 years. So over 70 locations. And you get buy one, get one at almost everybody. There's a couple with a few different offers.
Yeah.
There's some additional offers from locations for a flight during a second visit, or off-to-go beer, or merchandise, things like that. So again, something to incentivize customers to come in and visit locations.
Yeah, I love that. And what I think people don't realize sometimes when they think about Western New York is what amazing breweries we have here. Like, not just the beers that are brewed, but the food and also the people that you meet that are serving and who are owning the locations. It's such a community. Like, it feels like there's like that community.
Yeah, it's something we talk about all the time. It is not just about the beer. It is about the people running these businesses, owners, brewers, salespeople, beer tenders, any of the wait staff. Just everybody we've run into has been fantastic. The food programs, I mean, this is not, for the most part, a lot of these breweries are not just corner bar snack food.
Yeah.
They have tremendous food programs that they're putting out there, brunches and things like that.
Yeah.
The locations. You have things that are brand new builds
Beautiful.
like this that are beautiful.
Yeah.
And then you also have a lot of places that are refurbished, rehabbed old buildings,
Yep.
and have so much character and things like that. So, again, there's been a lot more to it than just go out and have a beer.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's great.
Absolutely, and I think Eli Fish is on your
Eli
pass.
Fish, yeah.
And talk about restoration of a location. So that location, when I was growing up, was a department store, and now what they've brought to the area through the food, but just again, people the renovation took jobs, and that brought jobs into the local community, but then also just the beautiful way that they're honoring that space is just amazing.
Yeah. It's a big space. I love going
is.
out there. I love their beer. Shout out to Norm. But yeah, Eli Fish is great, and they've been in the past from the beginning as well, and we're glad to have them as a partner.
Yeah.
May or may
it's
not
awesome.
have been there
just
last
when you're
night.
talking about the buildings, because that building is so old and there's so much history that's there.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see what Matt's done with the location.
Yeah, even a place like Resurgence downtown.
Yeah.
That has a lot of history to it, and there's still exposed parts in there to go in and see what it used to be, and they got some pictures of it.
Yeah.
Really, really cool stories.
Yeah, it is. And just talking and thinking about the Western New York community, and people are probably getting tired of me shouting it, but everybody here is so different. Like, it's a supportive place. Like, how have you felt that as you started this as your full-time business?
Yeah, like I said, I spent my life in retail, so
Yeah.
coming out with this idea and approaching the owners of the breweries, they didn't know me. I didn't have any proof of concept. I actually had more than one tell me that, we've tried these before, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then a year or two down the road, I've had that same owner come back and say, hey, you know what? It actually caught on, and you're doing it. So,
Yeah.
that was a great feeling to get that feedback. But the willingness of everyone to say yes and participate and be part of it has been great. And then I feel like because I have that seat a little bit closer and watching what's going on with the breweries, when things happen, the way they band together, they help each other out. So during COVID, there was a fire at Brickyard up in Lewiston. And in order to keep some of their distribution going, Big Ditch allowed them to brew on their system. That way they could still package cans and get it out to stores while they were rebuilding the brewery up there.
Yep.
So just things like that, I think, are just so cool about the industry. They're in competition, right, for business and things like that, but they still work together and they share ideas and ingredients and things like that when somebody's in a pinch, and that's a cool aspect of it too.
Yeah, and it's funny because we've heard that over, and I feel it too. I'm a business owner in the community, and it's like you can raise your hand and say, hey, I just have a question. Like, I see what you're doing. I think I'm struggling with the same thing with my business. Could I just call you? And like, I have yet to have anybody really say no. Like, I think everybody just wants to help one another.
Yeah, I found a lot of helpful individuals, and that is worth so much. And not just within the brewing business, like just reaching out, networking, finally been able to put LinkedIn to more use.
Yes, I was going to ask you about networking for sure.
And connecting, and just asking for help or input is something else. That's how I got connected with Del Reed at 26 Shirts.
Yep.
We ended up crossing paths there, and now we've talked a few times and end up doing this collaboration here. And, and that really has nothing to do with breweries.
Right.
So another unexpected, outcome of jumping into this.
Yeah, and it's like you mentioned LinkedIn, and I always say that's such a powerful free networking tool. I mean, obviously you can pay for it, and a lot of us do, but there's so much knowledge that you can get out there, and you can find people who, again, that you respect and that might be in the same type of industry, and you just say, hi, okay, I have a question, would you mind helping? and using it is such an amazing resource. And I would imagine too, the other social platforms like Instagram is massive and things like that as well.
Yeah, Instagram is really good to get the pictures out there, of course. I found Facebook is much better for that community feel.
Yeah.
So, with the followers, we have a Facebook page as well as a group. Very interactive group. And actually, for this weekend for our event, people that I've met solely because of Beer Trail are actually volunteering and helping us out at the event.
Amazing.
That I would not have met otherwise.
Yeah.
Kind of an aside to that is, I know when you spoke with Drew Surza, he talked about having that circle, that the board
of advisors,
board of advisors. And I thought about that and I laughed a little bit because, again, besides my own close friends that I've known for years, I've met a few people through this that, I bounce ideas off of.
Yeah.
And, I really, that resonated with me when he said that. I was like, oh yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense.
Yep. Yeah, and it's so funny, I look at the people who I consider as part of my board and the people who challenge my thought process. And the moment sometimes I'm like, come on, just buy into the idea already. But they're the ones that you learn so much from because they're giving you just such a different perspective.
Right.
Yeah. So it's so meaningful to have that personal board of directors. So, now, how about coaching? So we'll talk about your entrepreneurial jump in a second, but as you've put this together, have you had any like informal or formal coaches that you think?
No, not really.
Yeah.
I guess I'd say, informal coaching to some degree. Again, getting input from a lot of different people.
Yeah.
Again, I'll mention Dell, but just informal, like we'd grab lunch or something.
Yeah.
And just talk some things over. He'd have some suggestions. We're about to make a change. Well, we're officially Western New York Trails LLC now, as opposed to Western New York Beer Trail LLC.
Okay.
Just because we're branching into other things now, which we'll get to in a little bit too.
Yeah.
But, that was off of a conversation with him as well, just to kind of give it more of a parent feel and then have the brands underneath that. But yeah, nothing formal. I've been doing a lot more networking. Again, I am by nature shy and introverted.
Yeah.
So this has been a learning experience on that as well. And fortunately, my wife back in 2018 convinced me to go to a LinkedIn networking event, which I was like, I don't know what I'm doing here, but sure, why not?
Yeah.
And I credit that event there as really the kickoff to what eventually came. I didn't know it at the time, but that really kicked off the journey that ended up today.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
And it's funny, I think too, I think about networking a little bit and then just like coach. There's almost like a coaching part of networking that you need, like how to start small, like go to one event, talk to one person and be out of there in 5 minutes. But at least you've made like progress and then continue to evolve that as you continue to grow as a person.
The biggest thing, whether you're talking about networking or social media or anything like that, is get involved.
Yeah.
Don't just go and stand on the sideline.
Yeah.
Same thing with LinkedIn. LinkedIn is like a big virtual networking. Don't just stand on the sideline. Comment and get involved. And doors open.
Yeah.
Like connections are made and doors open.
Yeah.
I've gone to a couple of the Buffalo Open Coffee networking events on Tuesday mornings down at Seneca 1. Tremendous. They're getting, I believe, around 35 to 40 people these days. Ran into an old acquaintance there, and we've connected over a few things now. So there's a lot of resources. There's a lot of people that want to be involved. There's a lot of people that want to help, and Buffalo is still a small town. Like everybody's connected, and you find people that you wouldn't have any idea are in the same circle, and that's been really fun too.
Yeah.
That there's a smallish group of entrepreneurs now that we all help each other out. We all talk. We all help each other out. We help each other at each other's events, donations, and things like that.
Yep.
it's really been a fun experience.
Yeah, yeah. I found you through LinkedIn. Like, I had
Right.
seen some press, and then you popped up on LinkedIn a couple of times. I started digging. I'm like, oh, this is very interesting. Like, it's very cool.
Thank you.
Well, let's talk about how you made the decision to go from, because you were full time and retail, and move over. How did you know it was the right time to spring this into this entrepreneurial journey?
Yeah, so like I said, we started in 2020, and it just started growing on its own. And after 20 years at my current job, corporate retail, big corporate retail,
Yeah.
I decided, you know what, I want to take one more shot at
Yeah.
being my own boss, right?
Yeah.
Having the flexibility and being my own boss and chasing this, and see where the ideas lead. Once before that, I had tried my own business, but that was just owning a business. I was doing some remodeling,
Yep.
things like that. I had done some construction previous.
Which is tough.
My wife and I were both self-employed trying to do that, and then we're starting a family, getting a house. So the timing wasn't right.
Yeah.
So I ended up doing the retail job because that's what we had to do at the time.
Yeah.
So my original notes from creating Beer Trail never had any projection that it would get big enough to be a full-time job. But like I said, the dominoes kept falling and different ideas kept coming up, and again, everybody's so helpful that nobody said no to anything yet.
Yeah.
So okay, let's try it.
Yeah.
So now I just keep building on those ideas. We got other things coming up this month that we're working on. Like, again, it's just been so cool meeting new people and,
Yeah.
and having the ideas. I'm going to be 55 this year, so again, it was, let's take the jump now. The kids are a little older, getting out of
Yeah.
getting out of high school, I
Yeah.
should say, soon, and I don't know, just see where it goes, I guess.
I think so. Stories like this are so inspiring to me, and I think to a lot of people that listen, because there was no job description when you were growing up that said, I'm going to own a company that sells passes to beer and make a living out of it. But you had a concept and an idea, and you were able to figure out how to monetize that and bring that to life. Like, that's so cool.
Yeah, and we're constantly changing things up and introducing things. So I've got some retail space at one of the local Buffalo stores, Buffalo Gift Emporium. So between that, other avenues that have opened up, our work with the Autism Nature Trail.
Yeah.
I'm going to be working with Outside Chronicles coming
Okay.
up soon with our hiking challenges.
Oh, awesome.
I got connected to the New York State Restaurant Association, the Western New York chapter.
Oh, very cool.
And we're going to be working on their culinary pass with them. So again, all of this is just through networking with the brewery owners and my own on social media.
Yeah, that is so cool. What's been something out of the entrepreneurial journey that has just been positive that maybe you didn't expect for it to happen?
I'm going to go with social media here.
Yeah?
So, you hear it all the time, right? There's always a negative associated with social media, right?
There is.
Why it's so bad.
Yeah.
And absolutely, if you go looking for the bad in social media, you are
Find it.
absolutely going to find it, and
Yeah.
you're going to find it fast. But there is a lot of good happening on social media too. Twitter X is probably the best example I can give right now, where there is, like, pick your path there,
Yeah.
right?
Oh.
So the fortunate part, the fun part, is I have found a community. Actually started with Bill's Mafia on Twitter, and has led into other things. But I got connected up through some people, some of the maybe more known people in Bill's Mafia,
Yeah.
and started meeting them at different events and things like that. And now that network is hugely helpful.
Yeah.
So one of the gentlemen I met on there, he's the one who helps us out with getting a lot of the autographed items that we do at our basket raffles at this event.
Yeah.
And without his help, we wouldn't have such great items. There's another gentleman that I met a few years ago who turns out to be the older brother of somebody I went to high school with. He lives in Alaska now, but he just sent an autographed jersey for our event on Saturday.
Oh my gosh.
So there's a lot of good stuff. And,
Yeah.
and you got to block out the things that you don't want to hear.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more good going on there, and I think that was the best surprise. If you surround yourself with good people, then more good things are going to happen.
Yeah, I believe that too. And it's so funny that you say that because, you can find negative in any situation, but it's putting in that positive mindset always and being grateful. Every night I close my eyes and I'm like, I have such an immense amount of gratitude. I know for myself, when I decided to start my own company, my husband's still nervous. He's nervous every day. But it's like, this is going to go one of two ways. And when I think about just like being able to use my network and grow a company, it's like the gratitude that I feel every single day for the people who I've been able to talk to, like yourself, is just, it's such a positive outcome that I think you need to take time to just appreciate what you feel in that moment.
Absolutely. That's been a fantastic part, being flexible for being around for the kids.
Yeah.
And especially my son. That has been the best. And what's the worst thing that happens? The worst thing that happens is if it doesn't work out like I intend, well, all right, then you get another job.
Go get another job.
Right? Like, that's okay. If that happens, that's okay.
Yeah.
But we're going to have fun in the meantime.
Yeah.
And see how far this goes.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say, though, my son probably isn't so positive about this because it gives him a second job, and he gets paid in takeout food. So
Yeah, we're working it.
we're working it out.
We're getting there.
Well, that is great. So one thing I've heard repeatedly, you talked about it right from that first $300, is that you believe in giving back.
Absolutely.
Into the community. I love that too. I love that. And you do a lot of work with the Summit Center and the Autism Nature Trail at Letchworth State Park. Can you tell us a little bit about each one of those organizations and just personally how much it means to you to be able to support them through the work that you're doing?
Yeah, for anybody who doesn't know me and my family, my son, Michael, is diagnosed with autism. He's diagnosed at 2 years old. And that was through assistance from the Summit Center, who helped us organize all of his early intervention and things like that. Michael never has gone to Summit for school. He's always been in the Williamsville School District.
Yep.
But as time has gone on, he has been part of different programs with him. He's worked with a couple of their doctors over there, been in bowling clubs. He goes to their STAR program now. He absolutely loves it.
Yeah.
For the social skills, motor skills, things like that. They're always working on stuff. He loves it. He looks forward to, actually all week this week during spring break, he's been bugging, asking when he's going next. But they've been tremendous, and we've been participating in their autism walk now for I don't even know how long, quite a number of years. And by doing Beer Trail and getting this platform, it's helped us have a bigger voice and do these events to help raise money for the programming that they offer. We started out with the Autism Nature Trail at Letchworth. My wife and I were married there.
Oh, you were? That's so great.
It is very near and dear to our heart, the park in general.
Yeah.
So when they started building the trail, obviously that was right up our alley.
Yeah.
And so we've met the board there. And again, that's one of the things that I had an idea, and I reached out to their board and I said, you know what, I don't see you guys selling any merchandise. Do you want a partner to produce and sell merchandise? And they said yes. Just ask.
Yeah.
And so we got that together. We've been doing that for a little while, trying to get the word out about the trail and the merchandise. A portion of the sales from that goes to support their programming and maintenance.
Okay.
So yeah, we've always, I always had the idea that the business route, that this had to be done a certain way, that the product had to be quality, that customers had to be taken care of, and we had to do the give back portion. So yeah, that has been a cool thing. We support any animal adoption, rescue. We've always adopted our cats from
Awesome.
SPCA or 10 Lives.
Yep.
So those are just some other things that we're into also.
That's amazing. And I think, one, it speaks to the person that you are and making sure that there's that give back part. But it says so much about, you're taking people with you as you grow, like you're giving more as you grow. And I think there's something just so special about when people commit to that. It's also very telling of Western New York and the community. And let's talk about, you have an upcoming event Saturday at Brazen, Brazen Brewery, to support the upcoming Autism Walk for Summit Center, correct? Yes. And I will say we have what we can expect of here. Great shirt, 26 shirts. So shout out to Dell, because you can buy those right online.
So this has been, this is going to be our biggest event. This is our biggest collaboration so far. Okay. So last year, Drew and the team here at Brazen were kind enough to let me collaborate on a beer. I just follow directions and put stuff in the tank that Justin tells me to. And this year, the timing just worked out right to brew our second beer with them and include 26 shirts and do a big collaboration and see what we could do for Summit. So we brewed up Breakaway Kolsch.
Which is delicious.
Thank you.
That's great.
Again, I can only suggest the style. Justin is the master from there, and it came out awesome. I am so happy with this. We canned it yesterday, and I told him, I said, listen, not that I had anything to do with it, but I'm really proud of this one.
Yeah. No, it's great.
And then Drew and Dell and 26 shirts designed up the logo, and we went with the Buffalo hockey theme. Super happy with what is going on right now with the Sabres, and so we tied into that a little bit.
Awesome.
And came up with Breakaway Kolsch.
I'm going to buy a shirt, but I can't wear it until after the Sabres win the Cup, because as I was sharing earlier, every time I bring out my OG Sabre stuff, they've lost in the last month. So it's back in the closet.
I'm sure it goes on in other cities, but I think Bills fans and Sabres fans, we might be some of the most superstitious fans 100%. Around, especially given our track record.
That's right. And so I think it's great. So what time is the event on Saturday?
So the event is this Saturday, 12 to 4, free admission, open to the public. We're going to do basket raffles. So I set up 3 tables worth of basket raffles. We got some amazing donations. We've got autographed Bills and Sabres jerseys, autographed 16 by 20 photos.
Okay.
We've got baskets of coffee. We've got stuff from Wingnuts, Resurgence, Tim Hortons, all kinds of things. So we've got that going on the basket raffles. TSE Buffalo will be here. They do a lot of autographed memorabilia as well. They're going to be doing a silent auction, and the crowning piece is a signed Josh Allen Standing Buffalo helmet. So they'll be doing silent auction on that, and they donate a portion of anything that is bid on and won back to our event as well. 26 shirts will be here with merchandise. They won't have this. This is only available on their site, made to order. But they will have other merchandise here with them as well. And I don't know, maybe we'll come up with a few other fun things along the way.
That's amazing.
And it's the official beer release. It's up there now, but it's the official beer release for the Breakaway Kolsch.
Well, that's awesome. What an amazing event. And when's the walk itself?
The walk itself is May 2nd. It is right at the Summit campus in Gettsville on Stall Road. Starts at 9 o'clock in the morning. There's a short route and a long route, whatever you want to do. Breakfast food. I think they're having hot dogs this year.
Okay.
But same thing, they've got some vendors, music. It's always a good time. Great celebration for the kids, to come and see their handiwork and hang out for the day. There's costume characters.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's awesome. So May 2nd is the walk, and I'm sure we can sign up online. We'll put links to everything in the show notes so that everybody's got links to all of the events as well. Well, that's so fun. What is one thing that we haven't talked about yet that you want to make sure that our audience knows about both yourself and then what you've built through Western New York Beer Trail?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, and I suppose we've actually touched on it, is just I'm so thankful, right? This has grown into something way more, and the people that have said yes along the way to partner up, the fans of Beer Trail that we meet out all the time. We went into one of the breweries one morning on a Saturday around 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock for lunch. There was 5 tables, and all 5 tables had trail passes.
That's cool.
And one of the couples came over and said, "Thank you for making Saturdays fun again." And things like that are just so cool. And I just value the partnership of the breweries. Talking to people that are out supporting the breweries, that they tell me all the time how, they never knew about a place, or they've been by a place so many times and never thought to stop in until they had the pass. That means the world, and again to be able to start from scratch and build up that community and have that around me it's mind-blowing sometimes. It really is. Like I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah. Well, you should be so proud of yourself. Proud for what you've built, what you're giving back at the same time, to see that as something that's so special, and it's amazing to have it part of our community. I'm excited to see what else is coming up this year. What can we do to help you? What can the Powered by Authenticity team do to help?
I think just what we're doing here, right? Just help bring awareness, whether it's for our event or Brazen Brewing here. It's a great place. If you've never been here, you got to stop out and see the place. Dog friendly. They got a great patio here. And support local. A lot of people say support local, but I think it's really important now. There's a lot of choices out there, and these are your friends and your neighbors and people in our community that when you come out and support, that money stays here in the community, and that's really important.
Yeah, and I think that's true for everybody. So no matter where you're listening from, being able to go to your community, go out into it, and find those local places. Breweries are always so fun. I know when we go on vacation, we always try to find some breweries and wineries and different things. People live there, they work there, they're growing businesses there, and it's fun to go support when you're visiting. So,
definitely, it is a good time.
It is. Well, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, I've enjoyed it. I could talk to you all day. That's where Ken's like, he got to cut at some point, cut the conversation.
He's like, we're done, we gotta go.
No, but I love these types of, it's just so inspiring that you took something that was just an idea and you've been able to make it into a full-time, enjoyable piece of work for yourself.
If you have a passion, chase it. Like, it can be done. I'm telling my 15-year-old daughter that all the time. Like, you can do this. You don't necessarily have to have a 9-to-5 job. You don't have to work for somebody. Chase that passion. Ask questions. Get involved. Put yourself out there. The more you do, the more that comes back to you. I absolutely believe that.
100%. And I say this all the time. Where we are in the world right now, like 2026, if you're thinking about it, it's probably a job somewhere. Like, look at content creators, look at like people who are out there. They've got a hustle for it, but there's such a passion for what they do, and they're enjoying life. And we only get one shot at this, so just being able to enjoy every moment of it is so unique and special.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I want to thank Brazen Brewery.
Yeah.
So, again, I've never been here before, but I'm coming back because this place is fantastic. Oh my gosh. It's so great. And we thank them for hosting us tonight. We really do. We're going to put links to Brazen in here. We'll put links to all of the work that you've got going on through Western New York Beer Trail. And thank you for being here, Tom.
Yeah, thank you for
having
having
me. Really appreciate it. And thank you, Producer Ken.
You got it.
And thank you to all of our subscribers. We appreciate you. We really do. You've helped the show grow so immensely, and we appreciate it because we can bring conversations like we did tonight to our platform. Thank you. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.